So my name is Andrej Findor. I work at the Communist University in Bratislava, and I would like to share a story about Roma mayor of a small village, 800 people, whose name is Tivadar Berki, and the name of the village is Nitra na Diplom. Nitra na Diplom is in a southern part of central Slovakia. It is in the region in which there is almost 30% unemployment rate for the whole population. However, this is not the case in villages in which there is a majority of Roma population. In such villages, the unemployment rate sometimes is even 90%, 100%. Roma people in Slovakia are in a very difficult position. While many of them are fully integrated into Slovak society, there are still many marginalized Roma communities which live on the outskirts of villages and towns. And people who live there many times are the poorest of the poor, which you can find in Slovakia. These people live shorter, their children die more often. These people earn much less money as anyone else in Slovakia, and they are the ones who in the eyes of many majority Slovaks are the main beneficiaries of social assistance, despite of the fact that this, is not, it doesn't comply with the facts. There are many stereotypes and prejudices about Roma. Some of them being that they are lazy and that's why they don't want to work, and which leads them to receiving social assistance. Other being making Roma as some kind of like inherently criminal, committing crimes, not only stealing but also robbing and so on. Some of these mischiefs they are doing to your neighbors. And there is a lot of discrimination resulting against Roma, especially at labor market or access to healthcare. This village, Nitra na Diplom, I would like to talk about, has a very interesting story because it is in the region with high unemployment, but despite of the fact, it defies any stereotype which one could have about Roma village, and which many people in Slovakia have. There is a public order, it's clean, children go to school and they don't drop out of the school. People have work. There is no crime. So if I told this to people in Slovakia, many of them would think this village must be from some other world. It cannot exist in Slovakia. And it's pretty interesting, to look at how the community in this village, led by a mayor, was able to achieve this. The first thing you notice when you come to Nitra na Diplom is that everything is integrated in one place. There is a mayoral office, there is a school, there is a public toilet, there is a public grocery store, there are sports facilities, all in one place. By this sheer act of putting everything in one place, Mayor Berki and other members of the community managed to shrink the social distances which were many times separating its members from one another and from public institution, from mayor and from the community government. Second thing you will notice is that this place is exceptionally, even in the case of Slovak village standards, it's clean. So the public services work there. It's very well managed. It's a small village, only 800 people, but it looks like not only public services are working there, but people who live there have decent lives. And one of the ways how Mayor Berki was able to achieve this, again with the help of community members, was that when they had a public construction projects, he let the people who were in the most gregarious condition, the ones who needed it most, he let them build their own community flats, community houses. When you ask people in Slovakia, they will tell you many stories about Roma who received public flats or public houses and they destroyed them subsequently. But it is not the case in Nitra na Diplom. And the one key difference being that these people built their own houses. They created something with their own hands. So they have, I think, big problems to destroy something they created themselves. Secondly, when they were building these public houses or public flats, they learned many valuable skills. Skills which can help them to get jobs at labor market. Because now their success rate in applying for jobs at construction site in Slovakia, but also in Czech Republic, got much higher. And that also could be credited to the way Mayor Berki approached the project of building public flats. Another important thing is that there was no crime in this village for 3 years. And when I asked Mayor Berki how did he achieve that, he said that they had people coming in the village in last years. Some of them, they even had a criminal record, they had a criminal past. But instead of putting them at margins of the village, they put them right in the center. So everyone could see them and they could see everyone. And he said that this mutual, checking out would lead them not to commit anything which would go against the public goodwill. Another thing which might not be that visible but which is astounding in a Slovak context is a 0% dropout rate in the school. And again, there one can see the genius of the mayor and of the community. One of the things being and keeping children in the school is that mayor himself prepares the breakfast for children. It's a small school, but by preparing breakfast, he creates this social relationship with parents, because parents know that mayor prepares personally breakfast for their kids. And secondly, it has been shown in cases in other countries. For example, there is a famous positive deviance case in Argentina with school retention, that giving breakfast to children makes them stay in school much more as giving them lunch. And of course, Mayor Berki didn't know about the case in Argentina. It was his instinctive choice. But thanks to breakfast, children stay in school, which again is something which goes against the stereotype of Roma children who drop out of the school. It is difficult to imagine how this deviant practice, deviant behaviors could be spread out, especially when I asked Mayor Berki why there are no other Roma villages following in their footsteps, And he said when he tried to tell his colleagues from other villages and so on, they considered him to be a know-it-all, a smart ass. And they refrained from taking anything over. So what is crucial at this stage is to have an opportunity which would allow different municipalities to recognize on their own terms what Mayor Berki and what Nitra nad Diplom, what the community in Nitra nad Diplom is doing great. And again, I stress this, recognize in their own terms. It cannot be an authority from outside. They must see it themselves and they must compare it in the terms they understand, they value, they appreciate, in order to own the solutions and to spread them out, to apply them in their own environments, for which they are the foremost experts, not the people, not the authorities from the outside. Nitra nad Diplom is a small village, 800 people, located in the southern part of central Slovakia, and it has an ethnic composition of 70% Roma and 30% non-Roma, and it's a special case about villages of this side and in this region, because usually people are moving out of such villages, but in this case people are moving in because of the quality of life which is being developed there. And one can say that the intergroup relations in Nitra nad Diplom are on a much higher and much more positive level as one would find anywhere in Slovakia.